Going with the story, we're getting in breaking inputs as far as the pubs and beer bars and restaurants in Pune are concerned. A total of 60 pubs, beer bars, restaurants are now facing action by the Excise Department is what we are learning. The state government has asked them to now shut down due to various irregularities. This was a part of a statewide crackdown is what we are learning. The Excise Department now unleashing itself at the pubs, restaurants and beer bars. Let's quickly go across to Vinaya Deshpande, who's joining me on the phone line with more inputs. Vinaya, what are these irregularities that are now being quoted by the Excise Department? Also, why is this action being taken now?
Well, this is the data that Maharashtra Excise Minister Shamuraj Desai has given just some time ago. In fact, he has said that there were several irregularities with respect to the timing that the bars were open for or the rules that they had flouted. Several such irregularities had been found by the Excise Department, and that is why in the last few days, before as well as after the Pune car crash accident, we have seen that the Excise Department has given out a composite data saying that 60 pubs, beer bars and restaurants have now been shut in Pune alone due to several irregularities. Now, the state government also says that it is going to bring out a stricter set of guidelines for the beer bars, pubs and restaurants across the state once the code of conduct is over. In fact, a presentation to that effect was made in front of the Maharashtra minister today. Several suggestions have been included in that, and the final proposal will be put out in front of the government, and this will be passed after the code of conduct gets over on 4th of June. But clearly, after a crackdown on several pubs, beers and restaurants, Maharashtra government says that it will now bring out artificial intelligence to keep tabs on these beer bars and pubs, at least to make sure that they are shut down on time, where an AI facilitated alarm will be placed at each and every beer bar, even a Deshi Daru beer bar, where, if they are seen flouting norms, operating beyond a particular stipulated time period, the alarms will ring on the cell phone numbers of the excise officials as well as in the headquarters, thereby prompting flying squads to take strict action against them. So the government says that apart from the crackdown now, it will bring up an AI-enabled new set of guidelines to be for strict implementation across the state. Back to you.
We'll have to see how that in fact plays out after 4th of June. Let's in fact stay with us, Vinaya. Let's also play out some political reactions, because remember, this entire car crash case is getting murkier by the day. The opposition has of course trained its guns at the Maharashtra government. Let's listen into what Supriya Sule of NCP Sharad Pawar faction has to say.
मेरे ख्याल से देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी पुणे आए थे और उन्होंने वायदा किया है इस देश को कि वो न्याय देंगे उस बच्चों को। तो मेरे ख्याल से हमारी अपेक्षा है कि वो राजनीति से हटके जिन्होंने ये गलत और घटिया चीज की है उनकी इंक्वायरी होनी चाहिए और उनको जो भी नियम कायदे हैं वो लागू होने चाहिए।
Yesha is also joining me on the phone line. Yesha, considering we've seen how the owners of these bars and pubs had also stepped out in protest of the actions that were being taken earlier, what is it that you're learning from the bar and pubs owners and their association? In fact, not to forget the fact that the shutting down of 60 of these bars and pubs is in itself an admission by the Excise Department that there were irregularities and yet they were being allowed to operate.
Absolutely. In fact, while we see that the Excise Department has gone on record, in fact, according to these to the details provided by the Excise Minister, he's mentioned that there are 51 bars and pubs which were shut down ever since the incident at Pune. However, we've seen that over the last couple of weeks, there have been these bar owners and pub owners who've come out on streets. They have in fact gone ahead and said that despite them paying their taxes, despite them paying their dues, is where they are being targeted. They're saying that it was just because of several bars which were allowing minors access to alcohol is where all of them are being targeted, and they had in fact had a representative of theirs wherein they reached out to the commissioner of the police as well as the collector of Pune city. There have been letters which have been given to them. In fact, over the weekend we've seen there have been several bars and restaurants which were shut, which were operating until wee hours of the morning, according to the deadline provided by the police department. 1:30 is the deadline for these pubs and bars to operate. But despite that, according to the allegations by the residents, all of them are operating at these VRs, which is where we've seen there's been a massive crackdown by the excise department, by the police officials, as well as the collectors, as well as the collector, and also the illegal bars, pubs and restaurants, which were operating beyond the permissible limit. They've all been under the radar.
All right.
Yes.
Many thanks to you.